Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of the Fettuccine Alfredo so-called little series. Okay, there's part 1 that I posted last week, which was the original way to make Fettuccine Alfredo back in the 1920s. So if you haven't caught that, go back 1 week, check that video out. That'll tell you how they used to do it old school in Rome. It's exactly how they used to do it. Okay, so I also promised you guys that I would do an American version of this, and that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. Okay, I kind of left off on the story in part 1 there, just about before Alfredo son came to the United States to do a restaurant in Rockefeller Plaza, okay, in 1977. And that's where I left off. So we're going to continue a little bit of that, a little bit of that history in the beginning of this video. So he came to the United States in 1977, opened up a business in Rockefeller Plaza, and it was called Alfredo's of Rome, okay? Successful business. It did well. Of course, it's not there anymore. And that's when this became Americanized, right? This is when people started adding shrimp. They started adding chicken to this dish. They started adding a little bit of broccoli, maybe some hot pepper flakes, some garlic to the sauce. And then they also turned around, and instead of it being just the 3 ingredients, which was the pasta, the butter, and the Parmesan Reggiano that you've seen in my last video, all those ingredients are still here in this video, but now we're going to add to it because this is how it became Americanized. Okay, having said that, so here's the difference between the original version of this in 1920 and the American version of it from 1977. And the recipe just basically follows this, right? We have some fresh cracked pepper, some salt, Parmesan Reggiano. Here we got some fresh parsley. We have some chopped to minced garlic, I would say. Let's see if you guys see how that is. Yeah, let's see if we do that, if that'll focus, something like that. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could slice it if you want to. You could chop it. You can mince it. It's whatever your preference is there. I also have some dried pasta here from Italy. It's very starchy, so it's very good. It's actually awesome for the sauce. I have a little bit of broccoli here, about 4 pieces of broccoli, because we're going to serve this fettuccine Alfredo with broccoli and chicken. And speaking of the chicken, I have a breast of chicken over here, which I had already pounded out. You can see that it's in saran wrap. I just did that because of, it's not cooked chicken, so I try to protect everything I do. So all we did here is we just took, like a friend of mine says, a meat hammer. You guys know what that is, right? And I just pounded it out to even thickness, okay? Because I have a cast iron grill pan behind me that we're gonna grill this chicken, because that's just the way I like my chicken in this particular meal. We got some great quality butter here. We got about 5 tablespoons of butter, and we got a 1.5 cups of really good cream, heavy whipping cream. Okay. Again, I stress this in all of my meals. Use the best ingredients that you guys possibly can, and you guys are going to have an awesome meal. Okay. This is about 3 ounces of pasta of fettuccine. I'll put everything, I'll link everything down in the description, like I do all my videos. So that's the history on Fettuccine Alfredo. It's interesting, and since it came to New York, I love New York City. People that know me know that I absolutely adore New York City for many reasons, architectural, history, and it goes on and on and on. So that's where I'm at. I'm pleased to bring you guys this recipe. So let's get started with this recipe. And if you guys like what I do, subscribe. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button. You're here now. Just hit it. It's free. It doesn't cost nothing. Hit the like button. And if you think that somebody, one of your friends or relatives or whatever, may like this recipe, hit the share button. Send it off to them. Let them watch it. Okay. I'm going to clear off some of this stuff. We're going to get going. This is a little bit busier than the last recipe, so we're going to start with the chicken. We're going to season up the chicken. So I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so I got that mess cleared off. What we're going to do here, I'm going to leave this right on the saran wrap so I don't dirty my board. So I cut my saran wrap a little bit bigger than I needed, which is the reason why I did that. And we're just going to season it. I keep this is fresh cracked pepper. I got this set like on a medium crack. And we're going to put on some salt as well. Okay, we're just going to pat that in. We're going to flip this guy over, and like I said before in my video, yes, you see me touch chicken. Now you see me touch my crackers, my pepper mill and my salt mill. I do sanitize these after, so please, you don't have to send me a message saying, you touched the chicken and then you turn around and you did some other stuff. Trust me, I'm very clean when I cook. I think my kitchen speaks for itself with my countertops and my stove, the way I keep it. Okay, so this is it. This is all I'm going to do. We're just going to season the chicken up very lightly, and we're going to put it in the grill pan behind me. All right, so as you can see, I have a grill pan, a cast iron grill pan. I use Lodge equipment, so if you guys are wondering, it's very hot. You can see it. It's actually smoking. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the piece of chicken in here, and we're going to leave it there. And we're going to leave it there until we're going to flip this a couple of times, turn it, get some nice grill marks on it so this plates up nice at the end. You guys that watch my video know it's all about plating towards the end, right? You eat with your eyes. So we're going to keep this in the pan. They say to cook this to, I think everybody knows this, but I'm just going to run it by you all anyways. You're supposed to cook your chicken to 165, okay? I don't cook my chicken to 165. I cook it to about 155 to 160. Now the thing with this is, to kill the bacteria, is it only needs to hold its temperature at 155 degrees for about 60 seconds, a little under actually. So if you get the inside of your chicken to 155 and that temperature holds there for about a minute, your chicken's done. It's going to become nice and juicy on the inside. You're going to get those nice grill marks on the outside. So, you can look that up. You can Google that. You can go to the Food and Drug Administration's website and some other popular chefs. I'm sure if you search it, it'll all come up. So that's what I do. I cook it until 155 in the middle, hold that temperature for a minute, and then I pull it, I let it rest, and you got some juicy chicken. Okay, we're going to get on with the next thing. We're going to blanch our broccoli. Okay, so our chicken is ready to flip. So we're going to turn around. We're just going to flip our chicken. That looks beautiful, actually, I have to say. So we're going to flip it like that. Our water for our broccoli is boiling. So we're going to turn around and we're going to throw our four pieces of broccoli in the boiling water. Now I do here have off camera, just so you know, I have a bowl of ice water here sitting on the stove, right? We're going to let that go for 3 minutes. We're not going to let it go any more than 3 minutes. I might even pull that at 2, okay? Because the whole idea behind the broccoli is you want that when you plate this, you want that really, really, really green, vibrant color on the plate. It looks fantastic when you do that. So what we're going to do is do 2 minutes to 3 minutes over here on the broccoli, throw it in the ice water, and then we're going to leave the warm water, the hot water, on the stove. Okay, the reason for that is because when I get ready to plate this, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to dunk my broccoli with the spider. For those of you that don't know what a spider is, this is a spider. We're just going to take the broccoli, dunk it back in, heat it up, and then we're going to plate that along with the meal. So that's how you reheat your broccoli, or at least that's how I reheat my broccoli. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's actually almost done. We're not going to go too far with that. Same thing with the chicken. If you guys don't have never invested in a grill pan, I do recommend you guys getting a grill pan, cast iron grill pan. It does come in very handy for things like this. When you're not able to go outside, too much snow, rainy, whatever, right? Okay, so I got about 20 seconds left on this broccoli, and we're going to take that and we're going to pull it. Because look, I just want to show you guys. You know, my hands are probably in the way, but I just want to show you guys. See how green? So you just want to blanch these a little bit, right? Because I do like a little bit of bite to my broccoli as well. It doesn't have to be crunchy, but you don't want to get this too soft either. Okay, so 2 minutes. It's been in for just a little over 2 minutes. We're going to pull this at this time, and we're going to put it in the ice water. Stop the cooking process, and we're going to turn off the burner there, but we're going to leave that there. Okay, on with the next step. I'm not going to bring you back to show you the chicken when it's done, but again, we're going to cook that to 155 in the center, and that's going to be it. Okay, so we're going to start the sauce. Okay, so I am just ready to drop the pasta for this. We got some boiling water here. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, because that's all the flavor that the pasta is going to have. Okay, so now we got to work quick, right? So we're going to drop the pasta. Okay, and we're going to set a timer for 9 minutes. I'm going to actually set it for 8. There we go. Okay, so pasta's down, 8 minutes for that. And now we got to work a little bit quick, right? Because we want the sauce being done the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter to a skillet, medium heat on this. I'm going to keep you guys with me so you can see the whole thing, okay? Because I think this part's kind of important. I think if you mess this up, this is where you're going to mess it up, because the object here is to get them both out at the same time. The pasta goes in when the sauce is done. So you got to do the butter, you got to saute the garlic, you got to add the cream and the cheese, and reduce this a little bit. All in, well, now 7 minutes. Okay, so you got to kind of work a little bit quick. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, like I said, medium heat. I got about 5 cloves of garlic in here. We're not going to add all of it, almost all of it. Yeah, I'd say about 4 cloves. Okay, so there we go with this. Now, as soon as you start to smell the butter, you start to smell the garlic, that's when you want to kind of go on to your next step, okay? Which is basically, let me just stir the pasta a little bit here. All right, pasta's doing good. Okay, give that a little bit more high over heat. Okay, so you don't want to turn this into brown butter, okay? So you want to watch the temperature on it. You want to stay somewhere around a medium heat, okay? All right, so now that garlic, just after a minute, is getting pretty fragrant, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is I have about a cup of cream, and we're just going to just lift this off the heat a little bit, and we're just going to add the cream. Now, all right, at this point, you just want to kind of stir it around a little bit, get this incorporated. All right, you don't want to go crazy here at this point either. Okay, this is very delicate, okay? So you just want to bring this up to a little bit of a, and remember where this is at, right? Okay, so here, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of zone in on the sauce at this point, okay? Just like that. So you want to look and see when you drag your spatula across, okay? You can see a little bit of the bottom. So this is telling me that I really don't want to go too much further with it, okay? Now you got to remember too, you can't have this heat over 180 when you add the cheese, or the cheese is going to separate on you. So you just want this hot enough to melt the cheese. That's all we're looking to do here. We're not looking to do much more. Now, I'm going to add some pepper to this. At this point, a lot of people add white pepper to it. I add black pepper because I actually like the look of how the black pepper goes. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit of salt because I used non-salted butter in this. Now you can see the cream. You can see what the cream is doing, right? It's getting to that point where it's going to reduce a little bit. Now the pepper, adding the pepper is up to you. You can either add a lot, a little, it really doesn't matter. So that's about as far as you want to push this. Okay, you can see that it's bubbling up here. That's as much as you really want to push this. Don't want to give it a whole bunch. I got about 4 minutes left on the pasta. We're going to lower this. This smells fantastic. Okay, and we're just going to let this now do its thing. At the last minute, we're going to add our cheese. And this is just how, okay, yeah, that's good and hot. Even though I got the heat off, you're still going to get, because, you know, the burner's hot, whatnot. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to lift it. This is just how I do it. I just don't want the cheese to separate, so at this point I try to bring the temperature down just a little bit. Okay, but you can also just slide it off the burner just like I did. So I'm going to slide this just like this. Okay, and now we're gonna hit it with a little bit of cheese just like that. That's probably about, I don't know, maybe a half a cup. And we're just going to stir this in. Now, the important thing here is not to make this too thick. Reduce it, but don't make it too thick. Okay? And you want to taste this as we go along. Got about 2.5, 3 minutes on the pasta. And now you're going to taste this for cheesiness. Make sure you got enough cheese in it, okay? That's awesome. I'm just going to add just a tiny bit, not too much, just a little bit. Make sure you taste your food, guys. I know I don't say that a lot in my videos, but you always see me taste my food, right? Taste your food. That's the only way you're going to know what the end result is, right? And scrape down your sides. You don't want that burning, because you got to remember the sides of the pan is hot as well. Okay, this is looking good. This is looking really good. Okay. All right, so in another minute or two, this is going to be done. Now, this is what I was saying before, okay? If you drag your spatula, now look and see how much of the pan you have left. See? Okay? And basic rule of thumb is if it coats basically the back of a spoon, okay, like this. I'll show you, this is what they're talking about. If you do that, then most people will say at that point that your sauce is done. And I would tend to agree with that. So we're keeping this on low. This is perfect timing. Your sauce is pretty done. And your pasta is on the way. All right, enough pepper in there. Actually may add just a little bit more pepper. Just like that. It's all about the sauce, right? It's all about the sauce. And I'll put the, I believe I said this before, but I'll put all the ingredients that I use, you know, like I always do. And I'll put down how much of what we use. Now see, look, see how it's thickening? And because you don't have to really beat it up, right? A little bit different than the American or the Italian version, right? You guys seen that video? Hopefully you guys watched that video. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're just going to take I'm gonna taste this here, see if it's, that's my pasta. I'm just tasting my pasta, okay? That's all we're doing. Beautiful. So I'm gonna give it another minute. Sauce is gorgeous. This is exactly what you're looking for, guys. Shouldn't eat with my mouth full. Okay, see, look at it. See how it's just thickening up really nice. So if I pulled it as quick as I did when I started, watch. See how much pan is left? You didn't have that much pan. And that's how you can tell how your Alfredo sauce is coming along, which, I mean, trust me, I think anybody that watches this video will say that that's pretty awesome. All right, so what we're gonna do, we got about 20 seconds left on this timer. Then we're going to, I know this is probably boring because I got you just on the sauce, but I really want you to see the sauce, because this is kind of, you know, this is kind of the star of the show, because, you know, if the sauce is wrong, you know, hey, if the pasta doesn't come out right, that's you, right? You overcooked it. Okay, so we're done there. Now we're just going to take the pasta, and we're going to add it. If you get a little pasta water in, don't worry about it. A little bit's okay. A lot's not okay. Now, when you get your pasta in here like this, make sure you get it all. Don't waste none of that goodness. Okay. Okay. We got it all. Now, we're going to mix this around. Now is where you can actually keep this in here with a little bit of heat and reduce it to the thickness that you want it, right? Because see, it looks a little bit watery. Okay, that's not a bad stage to be at right now. Okay, so, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I know this, like I said, I know this part of the video is maybe a little bit boring because you're only watching sauce and pasta, right? Okay, so we're going to add some heat to it. Get this nice and hot. The pasta will release a little bit of the starch that it has in there, and it'll thicken up the sauce. The more you put it with heat, the more you let it reduce and steam off like it's doing now, the more that your sauce is going to thicken. Okay, so now you can see in through here it's starting to bubble. Okay, that's what we want. We don't have to worry about the cheese breaking down at this point because we've already done our thing with the cheese. And this is it. This is pretty much it. So I am going to be right back in a couple seconds. I'm going to reduce this for about 2-3 minutes, and I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. Okay? Okay, guys. Now you can see how it's thickening up a little bit. Actually, it's thickening up quite a bit. See? Okay, so now at this stage, you can cook this down to anywhere you really want to, okay? It's nice and thick. Okay, so I would consider this pasta done, okay? So what we're going to do now, look at how gorgeous that looks. All right, beautiful, all right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kill the heat, and we're going to go over and we're going to plate this up, okay? It's going to be a fantastic meal. Hang in there. All we got to do is plate. Okay, so here we are. We are ready to plate. Now I just want to show you what this end result here now, after just letting it sit for a couple of minutes, right? Nice. You can smell the garlic, nice salt and pepper, beautiful. Okay, let's get this on the plate. So what we're going to do, because this is just how I want to plate this today, is we're just going to take a pair of tweezers, right? We're going to roll just like this. We're going to roll it, right? Just like that. Okay. And we're just going to let whatever falls off. Okay. Look at that. I'm gonna do that. Oh, God, does that look gorgeous or what? No joke. That's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and now we're gonna take some of our chicken breast that we made, that we grilled, and we're gonna do this. All right, just like that. And then we're gonna take our broccoli, and we're just gonna kind of tuck it in just like this. All right. Okay, just like that. All right, so the only other thing we got to do left now is we're just going to take a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Yep, we are. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and we're also going to, just a little bit, we're going to add a little greenery to the plate. Okay, all right, guys, this is it. I hope you guys make this. Look at this. I don't know if that doesn't look delicious. Just like that. We need a screenshot, right? I don't know. If that don't look delicious, I don't know what does. All right, guys, here's my recipe for my chicken Alfredo, the American version of 1977. It's a little bit different than the 1920 was, but this is what we're used to in the States. Okay, so everybody have a great day. I hope you guys make this. I hope you enjoy it. If you guys got any questions about this dish, feel free to hit me up in the comments, get a hold of me, and we can always walk you through it. Okay, but you've seen how it was made. That's what we got today. I'll see you in the next recipe next week, guys. Have a great week.